Hey guys, and welcome back to another solo leveling rise video. Today we're talking about how you guys can get gold in the game, because this is one of the more important resources, and we're also going to talk about what you should be doing with your gold. I hope you guys enjoy. If you are new, be sure to subscribe. About 80% of viewers aren't. Also, if you want to stay in touch with me, the best way I'll answer pretty much any questions you have is through Twitter. Link is down below in the description, or Discord, which is also down there. Also Twitch if you want to stay in touch with my content as well. So first thing first here is I'm showing you the Hunter Pass. So Hunter Pass doesn't do this until you completed all the levels. Quick disclaimer, I'm not sure if this happens regardless of what happens. I'm pretty sure that it does, but I'm not sure if you have to purchase anything. I'm pretty sure you don't. So anyway, just want to throw that quick disclaimer out there. So every time you hit a new level, instead of receiving rewards, this number does go up by 4K, I believe is what it was. And so ultimately, when this expires in an hour, I will get a fat sum of 116K. That's pretty awesome. So outside of that, where are you getting gold? Well, let's talk about it. So story content will offer gold on first completion. It'll also offer other things, but a decent amount of gold on first completion. So you want to make sure that you're completing the story as much as possible, if possible. Outside of that, there are other ways you can get it. Battlefield of Trials is a reliable way to get gold as well. It'll only happen on the once every 10 stages, right? Or no, once every 5 stages. In fact, let me show you it in Battlefield of Trials, but the Hunter version, because I haven't completed it. So anyway, the 21st floor offered 85K gold. So keep going, keep going. You get all these different resources. 110K there on the 26th floor. So on and so forth. This is where you can get a nice fat lump sum of gold each time, alongside other valuable resources. Let's actually go. I keep hitting the wrong button. Go back and see the player version of this, because I can technically. I don't know why I was acting like I couldn't. Let's see what I got on floor 21. It looks like it's about the same. So 81, and then on 26. Yep, 110. So that's obviously all the way up until you get to this point. You're going to be getting gold every 5 levels. So this is a nice fat lump sum of gold to get, but it's once only, right? Unless they reset these, right? Further difficulties, etc., which they probably will do some of that stuff in the future. It's a once only thing. You also can get gold in other locations from other pieces of content. For example, in the dungeons, you get a minuscule amount, but you can get some, right? It's there. So you get gold passively for playing the game, really is kind of what it is. This is pretty negligible, but if you score pretty good in Power of Destruction, you can start getting gold alongside other things. So that's one of the ways you can get it. It's also in Battlefield of Time, so keep that in mind as well. Another pretty reliable location for gold will be in gates. So first and foremost, you're going to get gold pretty much always with gate completion. So when you complete these, you will get a piece of gold there, a portion of gold. And if you have a higher mining level, you will get more gold. As you see, 4, 4, 4, it keeps going up. So make sure you're always mining in the game. Now, if we go back to the gates themselves also drop their own individual pieces of gold. So 1414 for this one, so on and so forth, 1202 to 1469. It's a range, right? The range does go up a substantial bit if you have the special gate. The special gate has, I think, 7,000 on average. Speaking of 7,000, you can get 3 drops between 7,000 and 10,000 once per day. These are only available after you've cleared the experience versions of these. So there's 3 drops of experience of 28K or so for me. I'm not sure if that's different for anybody else, but that number, you know, it goes up in terms of how many gates you need on a daily basis to get all these rewards. And simply put, for some of you guys, you're not going to have enough keys to do this. I don't even have enough keys to do all these right now. That requires, I believe, reputation level, so that's going to take some time. And I don't really know that I recommend doing this. It's not that deep. It's not that desperate to get them there. So next up, I want to kind of talk about another location, and that's from salvaging. Salvaging will give you a fat sum of no, not these. By the way, don't salvage weapons. You just basically never salvage weapons. The reason why is because events, which I'll talk about in a moment. But from salvaging artifacts. So you also get artifacts from completing gates and just kind of passively playing. So if you want to salvage artifacts, you will get gold back for. So 1,000 there, 1,200. So if the piece has leveled up, you do get more. 13, 31. It depends on the level of it or the enhancements you've done to it. As you see, these plus 14, the plus 10, the base is 1,200, whatever that number is. And for different rarities, that number seems to be a little different. Yeah, 1,100. So the number, it varies. The only downside of doing that is that if you salvage these, because let's just say I don't want these anymore, I did invest gold at one point or another, right? So that's kind of the only downside. But you get a lot of just random artifacts passively playing, and ultimately you get to see, I've got a lot of here. Ultimately, you get to a point where you just don't need any of these lower rarity craps at all, and you'll also get to a point where you don't really need the higher rarity low level either. It's just kind of, it happens when you get there. Let's go ahead and just salvage these common off. I don't need them. There's 100 common pieces it's selected for 100k gold. I'll take it. Very easy lump sum. This is the most reliable way to get gold, because this just kind of happens. Like, you don't really have to, you can always kind of do this, right? I have advocated for in the past for them to add some sort of stage that allows for you to get these here. I think they will, and they should. In fact, I'm gonna lower this enhancement. If I've worked on it beyond level 10, I'm gonna take it off. So just the level 5 ones there. And actually, you know what? I'm not sure I even need those, but I'll keep them. All right. So yeah, this is a pretty easy way to get gold. Yeah, I just got 200k gold in just a matter of a minute or so. Extremely easy to do. Now, events. Events are always ongoing. The tricky thing with events is that, the tricky thing with events is that a lot of the events, they give you gold back, yes, but they also would expect for you to invest gold in a resource to be able to get that gold back. And it's not obviously a one-to-one in terms of, say you put 100k into a character or an artifact or something, you're not getting 100k back. Yeah, I just got 5k passively here. You're not getting that back. What I mean by that is there are going to be stages where it's like this one, weapon growth. So I have to level up my weapons, and the way that this one breaks down is by leveling up the weapons, I'll get these milestones. And as you see, there are some pieces, some drops of gold, 20k, 20k, 20k. It's more or less trying to give you value out of enhancing your stuff, but you still wind up at a negative in terms of just flat gold. But obviously the resources you get along the way and the sheer levels you get are more worth it than otherwise. And the reason why you don't want to salvage weapons is because they constantly run weapons like, events like this where they are weapon dependent, and this one's based on leveling up weapons and hunters. So see what happens here. Hunter weapons and regular weapons. So limit breaking weapons. So this is where you cheese these events by going over to your cache of weapons that you get from summons, blah blah blah, and instead of salvaging them, what you do is you just infuse more into them. So that's pretty much what you do. And this costs gold, yes, it will cost me a decent bit of gold. 20k there. I'll advance there. And with lower rarity weapons, it's not as impactful. When they run the hunter version of these, you know, lower rarity hunters, blah blah blah, not as impactful. I just spent 50k gold on that one weapon, and that's where you make a cost, you know, whether it's worth it to you type of assessment. That wasn't really worth it. 50k to get this back, I'm not really going to get that back. But if I do it with the higher rarity one, you get that. But sometimes maybe there's a reason to push to level 10 because there's a good item here. Level 14, maybe sometimes there also will be leaderboards on these. Sometimes they run them with leaderboards, and you would want to do that at a time where there is a leaderboard. So basically you spend resources to get a portion of the resources back alongside other resources. So basically never salvage your weapon in the game, and that's why. I actually had a event like that with a leaderboard that I shot all the way to number 1 with, because same method showed you, working on weapons, etc. Now again, with higher rarity weapons, I can't stress that enough, it's better, right? You can limit break or you can level up, right? So the only problem with leveling is it's a 1-to-1. So if I do this for 20 levels, it'll give me 20. So that's the only problem with that. But again, it's worth it as a means to, like, say, hey, we're gonna get you, you know, a decent bit of investment in the weapon and a decent bit of rewards back to you. So I'm gonna advance this here, dupe, and level it up. All right, let's see what we got. One advance on the SR was worth 10. It doesn't sound like it's different than that. So we'll see what we got that 20k there, and we are going to limit break. R is 5, SR is 10. Nothing's okay. And then leveling up is a 1-to-1 for all the weapons. The same thing for the hunters down here. So that's more or less how things look in terms of getting gold in the game. And there's one other location that you can get gold semi-consistently from, and that's going to be in the shop. Now, first and foremost, if you purchase the little pack here for 50k gold a day, you're eating pretty good. You're eating pretty good. For $5, it's discounted for me because I guess it's discounted when you are able to renew it. Also this one too, extra gold increase. So it's 10-11 bucks for me USD. But those are worth it. Also, when you get this, you will buy the little 6-hour thingy here too, so that's nice, if I'm remembering properly. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on that. And obviously, all throughout the shop, there are going to be gold available in certain purchases that you can do. Now, you can come here and buy this gold support mini pack. This one will give you 100k and then 3 12-hour activity funds worth of gold. So this is okay. It just kind of depends on how much you need the gold. You think it's worth 500. A lot of people will tell you that, you know, nah, it's not worth it, because that 500 that you're taking out is a quarter of a summon for you. Quarter, right? I'm gonna be honest. Anyway, you're taking that out of your possibility to do summons or gold. So that's where things get a little bit sketchy. But if you are absolutely pressed for gold for one reason or another, you can get that. Or if you spend a little bit of money, you can get this, which is obviously better. But it's the same thing, but a spender version of it. And there are, again, obviously other packs in here that will offer gold. Well, so other than that, the other main reason I brought you here to show you is to show you the exchange shop. So this one's kind of tricky to get. I wouldn't really worry about this because 120 requires a crap ton of pulls. And to be honest, I mean, if you got 120, I hope you clear the rest of the shop first. But there is going to be gold in some of these other shops. I think it's mana here. Where's it at? Lock paper. No, what it was is it was Battlefield of Time, I believe that one had. Right? Anyway, there are exchange shops that will have gold. Oh, no. It was a celebration. Never mind. It was this one. But it was a different one. It was this. So yeah, they had it for the blue. Or the blue. But it was 10k a piece up to 100. So change it 10k gold right there. And that's where I got it from. So it is in this shop. But that, again, you get these from doing. Oh yeah. So good luck with that. The 120 there is hilarious. Like, dude, what is happening here? How much gold? How many summons have you cut? But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think you maybe get more of them, by the way, when you start duping out characters. But the characters require like copies, something stupid, to get fully maxed. So anyway, that's pretty much everything as it pertains to gold. You will get it also in challenging, get it in mission, passive, as you also just get it from clearing. Just, you know, story is not one that's reliable because you can't go back there and but you'll get it passively. Oh, but those are the main locations. Now, the last thing, really short and sweet, that I want to say is, where are you spending your? So you're spending gold on basically everything in the game, whether it's hunters, artifacts, leveling skills. I mean, leveling hunters, advancing hunters, whatever it is, you're using gold pretty much everywhere. So I would recommend not using gold on characters that you don't plan to use. Like, I've used a lot of gold on these characters that I'm not really using all that much right here on this. Because I wanted to test them out, play with them a little bit. Maybe I thought I needed them at one point or another, you name it. I would recommend not really doing that. Investing in characters that you know you're going to use, that you're going to get the value out of, first and foremost. And the same goes for weapons. With weapons, again, it's kind of tricky because, and hunters too, to a little bit to the same degree. But you want to be spending gold on the advantage. But in terms of leveling them up, you don't necessarily need them. If you get an SSR weapon that has dupes in them, or multiple dupes, or good SSR weapon regardless of dupes, like the plum sword, then obviously. Also, some of the SRs are really, really strong too, particularly if you have a certain number of dupes in them. I would work on that. As for hunter weapons, if you have crafted pieces that are dedicated to a hunter, then sure, go for it. The other SSR ones are not in the game yet, but if you have those, right? But I wouldn't really worry too much about anything as it pertains. I think you can get by with like level 4. Obviously, you get more value out of it if they're higher level, but I just think it's a minimum turn for rare weapons to get leveled up. I wouldn't worry too much. As it pertains to Jinyu, because I haven't talked to him, you want to level up his skills and his weapons. You don't really have as much to do with Jinyu as it pertains to gold. You don't have to level him up, or he levels up automatically. You don't have to worry. So that's more or less what I would recommend. thing. But the most important tip I can give you as it pertains to gold is, regardless of where you get it, how you get it, etc., be mindful. Be mindful of the gold you're spending. Like I said, don't throw it willy-nilly, because it is a hard resource to get, and it's an important resource in the game where a lot of characters, for various reasons, have a need for it. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. Remember, click the link down below in the description. Click the other videos on the screen. Also, if you make any purchases in the game, please support the channel by using code DFree, all lowercase. I'll see you all next time.